I've met a lot of you today. I've hugged a lot of you today. I've shaken a lot of hands today. And every one of you means something to me. That can't be erased. It's there forever. And just want to let you know how much I truly appreciate you.
We love you!
I love you. My name is Optimus Prime. And we all are from Cybertron. Till all are one. And we are. I don't know, can you see me? Yeah. I'm sitting down. Well, actually, I'm only 3'6". So, anyway, I don't know where to begin, but I allow that for you. I would encourage you to ask me anything you want, as long as you've had the question reviewed first.
Peter, I'm going to be your moderator today. My name is John.
Hi.
And I've got a set of pre-screened questions for you. And if you're ready, I'll start throwing them your way, Peter. So our first question, your first roles were in sketch comedy. How exactly did you transition into voice work?
You know, I don't think I ever transitioned. I think I always was. When I was a kid, I was really interested in the reactions that I got from animals. I worked on a farm when I was a kid. My aunt in Dutchess County, New York, lived next to a dairy farm, and so I spent my summers and carrying milk pails and lifting bales and stuff like that. And one of the most fun times I had would be in the milking area, and I would go to the front of where all the Holsteins were, and I'd say something, whatever mood I was in, or I said, "All right, I want your attention, please." And all the cows would just go. I never stopped. And I mean, then they started paying me. And I've often said that if you do something you love, and if you do something that you're good at and you happen to love it, you'll never work a day in the rest of your life. You know, you're doing something you love and getting paid. There's nothing I encourage more is to follow your heart and follow your dreams and never give up on it. Never. Never, never give up. Never give in, never give up. Because eventually, something will happen. Eventually. I hope that answered the question.
I think so.
It did for me!
Our next question is going to come from one of our VIP ticket holders, Nezrin Hassanli. If you could show yourself. Now, Nezrin, would you like to read the question? Of course, absolutely. Who wouldn't?
Hi, Peter.
Hi.
I'm an aspiring audiobook narrator. How can an artist take care of their voice so it can last for a long time?
I think if you're a singer, that's really important, that you don't stretch your vocal cords. But I've done a lot of voices that I've, coughed up a little blood from doing King Kong years and years ago. this is an old story, but I think it's worth repeating. Invention sometimes happens out of necessity. You know, you have a throat that was bleeding because of a gorilla, 2 gorillas. So I did the mother and the father. Mother and father gorilla, nice to meet you. And when I was called down to 20th Century Fox for The Predator, that is how The Predator came about. I'm sure some of you know the story behind that. But it's because I didn't want to do monster sounds anymore, because I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to do anything, you know. So I remembered, and they showed me the Predators, what he looked like, after an awful lot of insistence. I said, they weren't very happy to show me the character. It was top secret, and you know. I said, well, if I can't see the character, you know, what's the point of me being here? I've got to create that sound. I've got to create. So they finally relented, and I looked at that thing and I said, oh, ooh, he's ugly. And that face with the tentacles, you know, it reminded me of an upside down horseshoe crab on the Atlantic seaboard up in Massachusetts, in Situate, Massachusetts. And there was this upside down horseshoe crab in the sun, and all these bubbles were coming out of its mouth, I guess. And they were clicking. When I got down close, so I said, oh, not only does it look ugly, it reminded me, you know, immediately, the Predator. I just thought of that horseshoe crab, and I said, bring that microphone down. And they brought the microphone way up there. They brought it halfway, and I said, no, bring it down more. I'm in a studio where they probably filmed, I don't know, whatever huge film of the year was back in the 30s, 40s, 50s. It was very red, you know, leather, big leather chairs and stuff where the executives would sit. What?
How difficult was it for you to make the Predator sounds?
Who are you? One ugly. Yeah, that's the old upside down horseshoe crab on the beach deal with the bubbles coming out of its mouth. It was also a telephone. Do you remember the old dial telephones? Well, hello, is Tom there? Describe people that, you know, berate people's belief in something. I don't know. We're certainly different from the Hollywood norm. Frank is an excellent actor. I studied theater. I was in the National Theatre School of Canada up in Montreal at the time. We summered in Stratford, Ontario, doing Shakespeare with the Shakespearean Festival there. And then I was an actor at the Press Theatre Repertory Company for a year in Toronto before my life started to change. And to be an icon, I think I think it's very difficult in cartoons to make a living, you know, unless you can do an awful lot of voices and sounds and difference. And I would call Frank definitely an icon, now that I think about it, after explaining it to my son. And Frank he's a master, you know, he's a master. I do a few things. So I'm a journeyman. compared to Frank. I love and care for that care for me, and I would never have envisioned or imagined that. But here we are, and I think it's one of the greatest gifts I've ever received as a person or as an actor, and I cherish it, and it means so much to me. I wouldn't trade places or anything in the world for this. And it's hard sometimes now because they're starting to do Optimus Prime with other people, and it hurts. You know, it hurts. Netflix, I think, came out with that show, a non-union thing, so I guess they can get away with stuff like that. Anyway, I got you.
Yeah!